So I just wanted to demonstrate the two major apps I use for my teaching in class, but the same thing can be used with by screen sharing with the students very easily. And each of those apps come with a mini video tutorial on how to get up and running. It's only about 10-15 minutes to watch, and you can pretty much do most of the stuff it does. But we can also have a workshop going through details of how I am using it in my classes and how you could use it in your classes. I use PowerPoint as my primary teaching tool, or in this case, of course, Keynote, which is the slides I use prepare for my lectures as a placeholder. So in this case, I'm using Keynote, which on the iPad, I tap this one and it goes to the page I want. For example, I can actually go to the first page and then start the slideshow, and then of course go like this, tap one screen at a time, and then explain whatever I want to explain. If I want to show some details, for example, I can actually activate this laser pointer. I can point to these things on the slide, or I can actually mark it up by putting arrows like this, or highlight some locations like that. These are not permanent. Once I am done, it's actually gone, and then you can keep on sliding to the next one. Let's say the student had a question and you want a whiteboard to draw and explain a little more detail. So you can actually use a different app called the Notes Plus app, which of course is created multiple pages like this, blank pages, and you can actually select the ink color you want, and you can draw any way you want. So you can just simply use it like a whiteboard. One of the advantages of this one is that you can actually, very easily erase things and just it's gone. Or you can use the eraser to, if you write this, you can do undo, you can do various things. You can also type here, but you don't need to. I usually use it as a drawing tool. And another advantage of this particular app is that it has a built-in web browser, so I can go across, and here I go to web page of the Rainbird company. I want to select, let's say, a particular sprinkler I want to talk about. The specs, the specification of the sprinkler is like this, and then I want to say the specification pages, so like this. And then let's say I want to take these charts to the other side to discuss further. So I can capture this portion of the chart. I can shrink this here and bring it over here and capture this portion. If I capture it, it goes to the other side. So here I can expand this one. Now I can talk about in detail and mark up locations within this and explain. And the nice thing is that once I do all these things and bring everything to these pages, I can go back at the end of the class and export these pages as selective pages, specific pages, ranges of pages, or I can actually select the entire notebook and then export it as a PDF file and mail it to somebody. I can also put it into another app or even into Dropbox or whatever, or we can add a cloud account directly, and then it'll actually be uploaded. So that's the advantage of using this Notes Plus, and I constantly switch back and forth by double tapping here and then tapping there. So it goes instantly to the next page. So if I want to go back and explain, I just double tap here and I touch that and it goes to the page. So these are the tools that I use. Say suppose I want to include a photo or something like that. So if I go here and let's say I open a new page and then I want to include some photo from a textbook problem. So I tap on the right hand top, I can tap this camera and then I can bring a notebook like this, a textbook like this, and I want to take an image of this thing that is shown here. to discuss in class. So I can just take a shot of that, and then I can use the photo in my notes. So if I bring it here, and then I can tap this, select this one, move it around, expand it if I want, and then I can talk about this problem, and I can highlight things and work on the problem. So I don't have to redraw everything in class. So this is an advantage. You can actually either use the camera or you can use this. I have also used this one as a tool to import PDF documents and then write on them. For example, here is the tutorial solutions I have created. So let's say I selected this one. So in this case, I can go like this, and then I can actually write like this. But you notice that I have written in a very small letter here, but that's because I used a magnifying tool here, that I bring it and keep it there, and I write it at the bottom of the screen here, and it keeps moving this one back and forth as I write here. So you can write big, but then it appears much smaller here. So you can actually write a lot of things in one page. And this one I export, after I finish everything, I export this as a PDF file and send it to my TA, who will use it as a tool to mark the assignments. And the students, of course, scan the documents and submit the assignments online to the Dropbox created in Learn. And I have an app called Grader app, which is linked to the Learn, and they can be marked directly on the iPad. You can mark it up by like pencil and paper, pencil on paper. And also, once the student, the TA marks the assignments, I can actually give verbal feedback. So I hope you benefited from this demonstration, and there's lots you can learn. There are short demo videos available in each of those apps. It takes about maybe 10 to 15 minutes to pick up, and you can be up and running within a very short time. So I'm using the Apple Pencil and also the iPad. So these are the tools that I needed to teach, and then I use this to share my screen using WebEx with my students. Hope you enjoyed this, and good luck.